Hello, everyone. This is Dana with Light Talk, and we are here to tell stories of your own personal journey stories of the spiritual world. And if you have any stories you want to share, email lighttalk423 at gmail.com. And while you're at it, click on the like, share, and subscribe buttons. Well, we have an interesting story going on tonight. I think you're all going to enjoy it. So I'm going to let him introduce himself and then we'll get started.
Hello, everybody. I am Jeremy Bryant of Paranormal the New Normal and Maniacal Music Podcast. Maniacal Music Musings, I apologize. Podcast. Happy to be here. Hopefully, hopefully this recording doesn't get interfered with. Spirits.
Yeah, last time we met up, we had technical difficulties, we'll say, and we finally just said, okay, we're going to start again another time. So, yeah,
Yes.
so we'll see what happens. Tell us about the history of your house. We'll start with that and see what happens.
Well, this house was built in 64, I believe, or 68. I'm not sure, honestly. One of those years. And basically, the original owners who built it, I have found out through trials and tribulations, still live here. And actually, I just had recently confirmed on my show that there are two two human spirits here and two dog spirits. So, um, but to start at the beginning, basically, when we bought the house in 2021, when we started fixing it up, we were up here for weekends at that time, fixing it up, and a lot of strange things would happen, noises, they didn't know what the hell they were. Um, one of the people helping us fix it up walked into the opened the bathroom door to walk into it, and basically a mist like enveloped them and went past them. And I mean, that was basically it at that point. And then once we moved in, we we kept hearing noises the whole time, and finally, you'd see things out of the corner of your eyes sometimes, and eventually, I forget which happened first, but in December of 21, we had some paranormal investigators come into the house, and they confirmed that the original owners of the house were still living here, using all their instruments. And when they were using the dowsing rods in my daughter's room, basically, basically, I was asking questions of the spirits about if they like how I fix up the house and everything, because I didn't know information I found out later, which I'll get to. But I heard all of a sudden I got the coldest chill down my spine, and I heard the faintest thank you in my ear. And which at that point, I said something to the investigators about it, and they actually like started taking pictures of me. And in one of those pictures, you can actually kind of see, at least I can, a face in between my arm and my body. So definitely creepy, definitely creepy. And from there, we knew we had spirits in the house at that point, and we also have chickens. Well, we still have chickens, not as many as we did, but we had chickens, and we also had guinea fowls at the time too. And they were all in the back of the garage, and like a add-on of the garage that the original owner built, caged in there. And basically, chickens started dying. And at first, we thought the guinea fowls were to blame. We thought they were pushing them off the loft or whatever, and they were falling down and splat. But which doesn't make sense because chickens have wings. But anyway, um, but one of the things I should mention is when the investigators were here, they had a spirit box, and at one point it kept saying jungle, jungle, and the investigators and I kind of like brainstormed on it. We figured he was talking about the animals, the chickens, and turns out turns out that after we moved the chickens to the shed outside, guess what? No more chickens mysteriously dying. And I actually had it confirmed by a medium on my show months later that, oh yeah, like a year later actually, that yeah, he didn't like the chickens, they didn't belong in the house, he said. So he was trying to tell us to move them in his own way, which I always say there was no poltergeist stuff in our house ever, but that kind of is poltergeisty in a way.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I just didn't think of it. I honestly almost forgot it happened now because it was so long ago. The chickens have been in the shed for like the last 2 years, so I kind of forget it happened even. But yeah, I mean, when I actually shoved all the shreddings out there, I found a lot more. Well, not a lot more, but a few more chickens that died that we never knew about even. apparently the other chickens just buried them underneath the shreddings, and we never found out till I was shoveling it out,
Oh
and then I found a
boy.
few more bodies. But yeah, so and then since then it's still eerie stuff. I mean, if you're downstairs in the basement and no one else is home or everybody else is sleeping, like when I take the dogs out like early in the morning or late at night, then you'll hear footsteps upstairs. And like I'll come back upstairs when I'm done and kids will be in their beds, not fast asleep, neither of them got up. I'll ask my wife the next morning, "Did you get up when I took the dogs out?" And she was like, "No, I didn't even really took the dogs out." So I mean, and my wife is complaining the same thing because when she's in the basement doing like laundry or taking the dogs out when I was at work and the kids were at school, it'd be the same thing. You'd hear footsteps throughout the house.
Yeah.
So, and then I actually almost forgot about this. So I was on another show last week and I was showing pictures of it to the because it was a live show, so I was showing pictures to people. But basically, about a month or two ago in our backyard, I think it was in July, our cameras were picking up images of some strange things. And I mean, like what looks like a shadow man type figure almost like, leaning against a tree in our backyard. And this other little spirit thing, I don't know what it is, looks like it's running around the yard. But since I recently was told last week by Daniel Joseph or Joseph Daniel, a famous spirit medium, that there are two dogs here. I'm guessing one is the original owners, and I'm guessing one was our dog that died at 18 weeks old from a kidney, from being born with a misshapen kidney. But I'm guessing that's the two dogs. But
Yeah.
so I'm kind of guessing it's Rally and his dog that we caught on camera. And the strange thing is that I mean the little creature was like all around the yard in the back of in the way back of the backyard, like right by the shadow figure at one point. And the sky had like a face in it the next night too. Like the sky looked like it had a face in it. It was red. It was like a glowing red face.
Oh,
So,
wow.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know off the top of my hand if there was ever Native Americans in this area particularly.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm sure there was because it's Massachusetts, so I'm sure there were at some point. But I don't know if there's a burial ground here somewhere or something that we don't know about. I mean, it's very possible. We live around a lot of woods. So,
Possible. Yeah.
and we're not that far from,
Yeah.
I mean, we're only 45 minutes by car from Concord. So I would assume there was Native Americans here at one point.
Yeah. And you would, yeah, I would think so. Yeah. So how big was this red face? I mean, was it like a normal size face or was it enlarged or small or and
Well, I,
what kind of face did it have? Like sad, happy, scary?
well, okay. Let me ask this: do you release this in video form or no?
Video form. Yes.
Oh, okay. Then, if I can, let me pull them up. I got the pictures saved in my computer for this reason alone. So,
Okay.
if I can find them. Oh yeah, there they are. But open them and go to share. I got to share. Go back into it. I don't like the way these things share.
Yeah,
But
I'm still
yeah,
learning how to.
no, I just haven't used Zoom. I really haven't used Zoom in a long, long time. So, I just it's always a. So if you look in this one, you can see the shadowy figure by the tree. Like the motion sensor even caught it.
Oh, wow.
Uh, yeah,
Okay.
and I hate that you guys zoom all the way out to go to the next one. So annoying.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that's a close up of it, kind of.
Yeah.
And
There you go.
and
It does
and
kind of
this
look like somebody leaning up against the tree,
it does, but it's like a
like the
shadowy
back.
figure though.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And
Uh-huh.
that and then right there in front. Ah, what the heck just happened? Oh, okay. Apparently that works. Cool. That's good to know. But right there at the bottom of it, you can kind of see this spirit animal, like or whatever it is. I mean, I don't know exactly what it is, but it's like a spirit orb or something. I mean, that's what I think is the dog. I mean, if you can see that little, if you can see it like maybe 5 feet in front of the shop, figure like this little orange yellowish thing.
Yeah.
Because that's not my kids had no toys near that or anything, so it couldn't have been something else that was explainable. So, and oh, here's a good one. And then this one, it looks like the thing is up in the trees almost.
Wow. And I see another face in there. I don't know if you see that. I don't know.
Where?
Can you see
Oh
can you
yeah,
see
yeah,
my cursor?
yeah,
There's
yeah.
the
There's
eye and the eye
yeah, I can't see
and
that.
the
Someone
face
brought that up.
comes around.
I shared these a few times on show, so someone did bring that up one time. And that's the first time I saw it. But yeah, and it looks like flames coming out like top of his head almost. So I don't know. I mean, it's creepy. It's creepy that it looks like that. But and oh, here's
Wow.
the other one. Here's a good one of the little doggy thing. I think. Yeah, because there you can see it like more towards the trees in the back of the backyard, like this
Yeah.
little rainbow figure almost. I'm gonna call it because you really can't discern any colors on it. It just looks like a mix of colors.
Right,
So
right. Yeah.
I I don't know what that is. And then oh yeah, this one is two of those figures, two of those little figures. So maybe it's the two dog spirits playing with each other. I don't know. Until I knew there was two dog spirits in my house, I never would have even thought of that. But apparently that could be a possibility.
Yeah,
So
and you can see like the head of it and then the paws and maybe the
yeah,
tail right here or something,
yeah, I don't know.
like on the top there.
I don't know what kind of dog he had, so I really can't. I mean, we had a we ours was a Mastiff, so it was a pretty big puppy. But and I mean, who knows what they're gonna look like in
Oh,
spirit
wow.
form though? And the shadow
Right.
figures in this, it's shadow figures in this one too, and you can see it like kind of just standing there
Yeah.
watching them. So I don't know.
Almost like
Maybe
his feet are crossed, like his ankles are crossed on the bottom
yeah,
of this one. So right there, like the ankles are
kind
crossed.
kind of like kind of like kind of looks like he's like pulling off like a John Wayne or Clint Eastwood like stance against like
Yeah.
a bar in an old Western movie. That
Yeah,
kind
kind
of
of like
looks.
those shadow like things that people have in their yards and on their fences and stuff now.
Yes, which
Yeah.
I guarantee everybody we don't have one. If we did have one, it would be a Bigfoot one. Don't get me wrong, but it's
Well, you wouldn't be able to see through it like you kind of can with this, neither.
exactly. I mean, and trust me, if I had one of those, it'd be a Bigfoot one. It wouldn't be a freaking human.
You're right.
And then this one is another one where there's the face in the sky. Actually, now I'm looking at that.
I
That
see
kind of looks like a
two.
dog's. That looks like a dog's face. I'm kind of seeing
Yeah.
like the
Right
nose. I'm
here,
kind of seeing the nose
the
down the middle. I'm kind of seeing the nose down the
yeah.
middle.
Yeah, the
And
nose right here and the eyes. Almost like a
I,
third eye in there.
I've never noticed that. That looks like a dog's face. So
Yeah.
I mean, could it be Harley? I don't really know, but it kind of looks like the shape of his head, kind of. But I mean, who knows what they look like as spirits? So I mean, I couldn't tell, and I ain't gonna sit here
Yeah.
trying to guess it all night. But and
Right.
what's this one? Oh yeah, it's just another close up of the shadow figure, and that's all of them. So that's all of them.
Yeah.
But so yeah, actually, I'm happy you do share the video form this out because I love sharing those with people because it actually shows that there are things going on in my house that it's not just my word going on it.
Right. Right. No, I have videos of stuff that's happened around my house too. And um the weird thing about it is I see nothing out in the back. And my husband and I witnessed this together. We see nothing in the backyard with our bare eye, but in my camera, we see a white figure dancing back and forth, kind of like doing a little butt dance. And then when we reviewed it, it was a red spot. It was just a red spot. And just recently, we rewatched it again, and it was completely different yet. It was kind of weird.
Huh.
Same video, but it was a completely different looking figure in there.
I mean, well, cameras do have the ability to pick up things the human eye can't, and
Exactly.
also it's also been hypothesized that spirits can show themselves to what they want. So if they think no one's watching, then maybe they show themselves. If they think you're watching, they're not going to show themselves. So I mean, unless they want you to see them. But and that's, I mean, that's I'm still reeling over the fact that it looks like a dog face in the sky. I can't get over that now because I never noticed that before tonight. But oh my God, it does. That's creepy. I mean, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's Harley looking out over his house. Maybe he's just looking out over his house now and protecting us. But
Could
and I mean,
be.
our cameras have caught other stuff too. I don't have any of it saved really, but I mean, I do have I did have one video saved for a while of looks like a bunch of orbs flying around my garage.
Hmm.
Which I mean,
Nice.
we tried putting our dog in the garage in its crate like one night when we first got it, the first one, and it started yelping like it was being attacked. So we went out there and let it out. And as soon as it got out, it ran to the house faster than I've ever seen it run.
Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, and there's probably something there then. Something that
Yeah.
it wasn't a good.
I mean, and if you go out in the garage, I used to podcast in the garage at night, like late at night, like when I usually do my podcast. And
Uh-huh.
tell you, my spine would be cold a lot of times. It'd be creepy, and it seems like there'd be something watching you. So I think he liked to do a lot of work in his garage and in the carport, from what I was told by other mediums. So I think maybe that's where he likes to hang out the most, is the basement, the garage, and the carport. Because
Yeah.
he, I mean, he
But
was he was a traditional Yankee, fixing things up, Mickey Mouse and everything around the house all the time, and building things Mickey Mouse style. Like we found out that him and his brother or brother-in-law, wherever they were, used to like to, open a nice 30 pack and then do stuff around the house. So
yeah, yeah. And that sounds right for having him in the area with you. I mean, he's out there at the same time you are. So
exactly. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, and I didn't stop podcasting the garage for that. There's other reasons, but it didn't really bother me that much. And I always would have mediums catch things while I was podcasting, which is why I like to do it. Because I was like, I'd have them and they'd be like, something just went behind you. And I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, cool. Like, it doesn't scare
Yeah.
me. I know they're not going to hurt me. I know they're not going to try to hurt me, but it's
Right.
just, but I recently had, when Joseph Daniel was on last week, he said the male ghost does not like us here, and that he still believes it's his house, and that the female ghost is subservient to the male ghost.
Oh, oh
Which, I
my.
mean, in a marriage back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, that's the way it was going to be regardless. So
Right. Right.
makes sense.
Yeah. Just gotta let him know that you're sharing the house now, or it's your house, however you want to go
I thought
about
we
with
did that,
that.
but I'm pretty sure he knows, but I think he's just a disgruntled old man, I think.
Yeah, could be. And you had some stories about UFOs also.
Well, I have one really good story about UFOs, and
Okay.
then I'll start with that, and then the little things I've seen after. But
Okay.
this took place down near right in the edge of the Bridgewater Triangle, Massachusetts, where my now wife, then girlfriend lived. I was at her house. We were bringing the kids in from out back one evening. Just started getting dark out, and I looked up in this. My son all of a sudden says to me, he's like, "Why are those stars moving?" And I look up and first I'm like, stars don't move. What the hell are you talking about? And I look up and I'm like, oh, like 7 or 8 star looking objects moving what looked like in formation across the sky, like moving in a straight line kind of across the sky. And that was my major UFO experience. We're seeing that because that was a lot. If it was a UFO, it was a lot of them together. But it's also the Bridgewater Triangle, and alien activity down there is very high. I mean, it's also high where I live now. We think it's because of all the radon and the rocks around us.
Mm.
The theory around here is that they use it for fuel for the ships, and they like kind of suck it out.
Oh yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I don't know how true that is, but if you look up my sky any given night when I'm taking my dogs out, there'll be something that you might question. I mean, there's a lot of planes because we're near Boston, but I mean, still, and we're near, and we're I got a flight path from like Maine and I think New Hampshire too. But I mean, it's a lot of planes, and you can tell the planes obviously usually because of the light patterns. But there's some things
Right.
that you just can't describe, and you look up in the sky and you see things that don't look like stars, and it seems like the lights blink on and off on some of them, and it's kind of weird, almost like they know you're watching.
Yeah. So to go off that, so you're saying you're seeing like stars in the sky, and yet they kind of blink on and off. And so these little star things are not moving.
Some of them are,
Some
and
are, but some don't.
I mean, some don't. I mean, I have I have really no proof that these are UFOs. It's just from what I've been told from other people seeing them, and for myself, and what I witnessed myself, it's a common UFO type from what I've heard. I mean, it's basically the basic flying saucer.
And I see that quite often. I see it almost every morning when I get to work, and I see them. I have video of them, and they flash out and then they flash out like it's just like I don't know, like almost like a flashlight, but it's like a gradual in and out. Is that what you're seeing?
Kind of. I mean, at that point, my dog sometimes will like stare up at the same spot I'm staring up at, and they'll stand there for a minute staring up at it. Which my dogs are high energy; they don't stop for anything usually. So if they're standing there staring at the sky or staring into the woods, there's usually something there. Because I mean,
Yeah.
we're surrounded by wild animals here too in the woods. So
Yeah.
we literally had a bear kill 5 chickens and a rooster back in the beginning of the summer. Break into the coop and kill them. We put a wooden board on it now that we have to put across every night. And then the morning after that attack, I saw a pretty damn big coyote or coy wolf walking through the woods behind our house. So I mean,
Yeah.
there's plenty of wild animals too, and so if you're outside, the dog stop and look at something and start growling, you get inside pretty fast.
Yeah. Yeah. There's something going on there. Yeah, I see those kind of lights in the sky all the time. And but they never move and they're there every morning. So
Well,
it's like,
centuries,
okay, are they
they're centuries. They're just watching, recording.
okay?
That's my belief. I mean, because extraterrestrials have been watching us since the beginning of our time, at least.
Right.
So, or help create us, whichever way you believe. But I mean, so why wouldn't they watch what they created?
Yeah, and I can believe that. I can believe that.
Or it's
Yeah,
like, or it's like, or it's like they said in South Park, and Earth's the biggest reality TV show in the galaxy, which is a
yeah.
very good possibility, very good possibility of that, because we act like we're on a reality TV show most times. So,
Right. So how many do you think are out there? Because I'm starting to get this thought that probably more, there's probably more UFOs out there than there are actual stars. That's where I'm kind of starting to venture
see,
into. I mean,
I
what's your
personally,
thoughts?
personally, I don't think the math adds up on that one. I think there
Okay.
there are billions of stars. I mean, we can't see them all even, but there's billions of stars in the
Right.
universe, and there's more created every freaking day. So, I don't feel like there's more. I just feel like we can't see as many stars as we used to back 200 years ago because of all the light pollution.
Yeah.
I just feel like,
Yeah.
I mean, if you go to a field in the middle of nowhere at night and look at the sky, the sky looks like it's a blanket of just stars. So,
Right.
I mean, it's whenever you're near a house or anything, though, you're not going to see everything. I mean, I used to have a telescope when I was a kid and try to see anything, like even in the suburbs I lived in, which weren't that overpacked, was still pretty damn hard. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I do have a couple spots that are pretty dark on my way to work, and I see a lot of stars. I see a lot. It's like being up in the mountains, you see all of it without the
well, I mean,
pollution.
I
Yeah.
I don't I don't live that far from where the Barney and Betty Hill abduction took place. So, and that's and New Hampshire is a very has a lot of desolate roads in the middle of nowhere, and I mean, they can be creepy at night. They can be very creepy at night when you're driving them along because you don't know what's going to be coming running out of the woods. You don't know what's going to be in the sky. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I've heard plenty of tales of people having Bigfoot sightings in New Hampshire and Massachusetts. So,
Yeah. And I haven't really heard of any in Colorado, but I've seen reports of them in Colorado, like the
oh,
maps of it
they're
being
every they
seen. But
they are in they are in every state except Hawaii.
huh,
Hawaii is the only state with no sightings ever
that's
because it's an island.
interesting.
So that's an island, so it makes sense. But
Hmm.
which kind of kills the ultra terrestrial theory because then why wouldn't they just pop through portals in Hawaii and go on a little tanning on the beach? But
Yeah.
instead they prefer to live in Alaska where they terrorize people and it's
Yeah.
freezing. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that's why they terrorize people because they're freezing their asses off. But
Gives them something to do. I don't know.
I just see an image of a Bigfoot pound down door. Let me in. I'm cold. But I don't know. They're everywhere. I mean, I've heard reports from every state except Hawaii. So
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
there's definitely some more. There's definitely more prevalent states and less prevalent states, but they're everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe that. I believe that. They've probably been here longer than any of us have been also. So
If you
yeah.
believe in the Gigantopithecus theory, then yes, they have been. If you believe in the extraterrestrial or ultra-terrestrial theories, then they may have been too, but those theories tend to lend to the hand that they didn't come until we were around. So I don't know. Gigantopithecus theory has always been my theory. So that's the first theory I learned. That's the theory I tend to like to stick with, even though I've had so many people preach on the ultra terrestrial theory, and I'm just like, it makes sense. I'm like, I can't deny it makes scientific and logical sense, but it pisses me off.
Everybody has their own ideas and own thoughts. I don't think we'll ever really know exactly what's happened and who was first and who was second, and who how we evolved or anything
Until
like
the,
that.
until the government tells us, because they know. Oh, they know. They've
It's
they've
really,
stu they've studied them. They've studied them. They captured them. They studied them. It's pretty much proven at this point. So it's they know. And next pandemic, I always say next pandemic, Bigfoot will be the big announcement. Not UFOs will the last one. Next one will be Bigfoots.
yeah, because we're all already seeing more UFOs and everything now than we have. The contract's up now, so we're seeing
Yep.
more of those.
Yeah.
So,
If there was a contract, even who the hell knows? But I I feel like they let them abduct. I feel like they let the aliens abduct us just because for experimentations because it's the government. They don't care.
yeah, government is government. But we won't go into that one.
No, I try to avoid. I try to avoid talking politics on most podcasts. So,
Yeah. Yeah, but that's really interesting. So what is the creepiest thing you've seen, actually seen?
uh, honestly, probably that UFO experience. Well, actually, no. Well, actually, no. Okay, at the same house as the UFO experience because it's my wife's house she used to live in was built on Indian burial ground. It's proven. So we were playing cards one night in the dining room. I looked out the window and I could swear I saw glowing red eyes looking at me, and it almost looked like the nun from like the Conjuring movies,
Oh wow.
which I don't
Wow.
know. I mean, it could have been a Native American shaman or something. I don't know, but it that was the creepiest thing I ever saw. I had a hard time falling asleep that night, but
I bet. Yeah, that'd be
luck,
kind of creepy.
luckily I never saw it in the house. So
Oh, good deal. Good deal. Yeah, I haven't seen anything real creepy or anything. I had a shadow ghost in my house, but that was it. And he didn't hurt me or anything. I turned around and he left. I staged my house after that, and I haven't seen him since. So,
I mean, I was actually told last week on a podcast that staging doesn't work.
oh yeah.
That I was told there's no way to really get rid of spirits, that they're going to go where they want to go.
Well, I mean, in some sense, I can see that because they're spirit and they have free will, but at the same time, it's kind of like an asking for them to leave.
I mean, yeah,
And
if you ask, they may be willing to be nice and just leave, but who knows?
hmm,
I don't know. That's
interesting.
beyond my comprehension.
Yeah, yeah. Agree with that. Agree. So what is one of the coolest things you've seen?
The UFOs, that was definitely the UFOs. That was the coolest thing I've ever seen. I mean, I haven't seen much. Those that want to see don't see. That's just the way it goes. It's those that don't want to see. It's those that don't want to see are the ones who see everything.
Yeah. Okay. I've seen lights flash in the sky just above the horizon, and it went like a flash going across the sky like that. I know it wasn't
Ooh.
a plane because the lights were way too big to be a plane. And it wasn't the airport light because it was bending the opposite direction. And it wasn't a street light because it was too high up in the sky.
Yep.
So,
Uh,
but it was
yeah.
heading towards the mountains. So that was kind of one of my coolest things.
Well, it said they have bases in the mountains, and especially
Hmm.
Colorado. I mean, that's where a major sleeper base is. So of course they're gonna hang around there.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was kind of exciting. So yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
sounds interesting. That's for sure.
Yeah. It was probably about I'm estimating about 10 miles away from me, from where I was at,
Oh,
10 miles north of me. So that was pretty
interesting.
cool. Yeah,
Sounds
it
cool.
was, yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. But I haven't seen it since. I've never seen it prior to that. So that's kind of where we are.
At you,
Yeah,
Xbox.
but
Well,
yeah,
it's about our time's up. So we will go ahead and close up here, but let you finish up your night and I'm gonna
yeah. I got
get
to show I got to
mine.
show my own. I got to show my own in an hour. So,
There you go.
yeah.
Yeah, get you ready for that. So we will let you go and thank you everyone for joining us tonight and or this morning is when it's going to show. But if you any of you out there have a story to to tell that go ahead and email me lighttalk423@gmail.com. And don't forget to click the like, share, and subscribe buttons down below. And we'll talk with everybody later. Thank you for being my guest tonight.
My
Appreciate it.
pleasure. My
All right.
pleasure. Anytime.
All right. Bye, everyone.